Some of you have requested me to show you how to add a navigation system into your web page. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So normally I have this university folder set up, and then I have the database where I will be working on staff or student module, because I needed a little more data to show you to scroll through the record. So this time I'll be working on student module table. So without further delay, I start Dreamweaver. Some of the basic setup I will not show in this video because it's been covered in the previous video. So if you have any doubt about how to do those things, you can go back to the previous video and find out more about it. So I'm going to check my sites. I already have a site called university, and I'm just checking whether things are okay with that. Seems like everything is set up. I am going to create a new PHP page for my display record with a navigation system. So I just took a template. I'm going to clear this up, and then I'm going to insert the data in here. Before I do that, I have to make a connection using the database panel. So I'm on the database panel. If you don't find how to find database panel, has been explained before, but you can click in the Windows database, it will come. So the first thing I should do, I should create a MySQL connection, and I will call as Visual DBCon, and the local host will be the MySQL server, username root, password I don't have one. I will select the database university. Some of these steps I'll be doing very quick, so you can have the whole video in one stream. So here is my database connection, and I can actually see my tables are available through the windows. So without further delay, I'm going to save my file. I will give a name. I'll call display.php, or display record, and I'm going to save PHP. I save it, so that is saved. I put my cursor in the place I want a record to be displayed. I go to insert, I go to data object, I go dynamic data, I select dynamic table, and it's telling me that I need a record set. You can see the tick mark on 1, 2, 3, only 4. I need to create a record set. I will be creating a record set. I click on record set, and I will be selecting the table this time, a student module table. So here I don't have to do anything else. I just press OK. So as you can see now, it's a tick mark here. That means I have created a record set. So question may come in your mind, whether shall I create the record set first, then go to the insert dynamic data, or shall I just go to the insert dynamic data? The answer is, if you're not sure, you can always go to insert and run the wizard. Wizard will tell you whether you have to set up the record set or not for particular operation, as some of the operation may not need the record set. So I press OK, and that brings up this record set information, dynamic table here. It's telling me how many records I want to show at a time. So I can tell them that how many. I say I want 4 records at a time, because we'll have a navigation system to give us the more record. I'll keep the border 1, a little bit of padding perhaps. I'll give a 2 pixel of paddings, but this is optional. All these 3s are optional just for presentation purpose, but make sure that if you don't want to show all the record, obviously you will be creating a navigation system, so it's better if you have thousands of record. You can actually split them any amount of row you want. In this case I have 4, so yeah, I click on there and press OK. So you can see quite a big table, and we have learned how to use CSS to organize this. So I'm going to select this table to make sure that I can actually organize this a little bit, because as you can see it's very big. So I can also click on the property there. I select the table, and I select the table here, and I go to my CSS, which I do not see, so I can get my CSS. If I don't see here, I can actually click on this CSS style. I can bring my CSS style, and I can click on the plus sign, and then I just leave the way it is. I press OK, and I'm just going to reduce my font size a little bit, so it will be much more smaller. Still quite a big, but we'll see how it's look like in the real window. So I save it, and then I run this through Chrome to have a look how the tables look like. Seems like the tables are okay, even though in the design view it's quite big. So it's just a matter of configuration. But in the actual window you can see all the records here, but at the moment you can see only 4 records are available. So the rest of the record to show, but in your table, if you look at that, there are plenty records here. So to show the rest of the record, we'll have to add a navigation system here. So I can press, I can keep my cursor if you want, and the next, that's fine. If you want at the end, as you can see my table is quite big, so basically I'll have to find out where actually I can go to the next column, I mean the next place where I can add, or I can add just a navigation here as well on the top, which will be nice. So no matter how many records come in the bottom, I always have my navigation on the top, so I can always access it. So I'll keep my cursor here, and I'm going to go to insert. I'm going to select data object, and in here you see record set paging. Record set paging, you have a record set navigation bar. I click there, and it will say how you want your record set to be. Do you want in a text, or you want an image? For now I will select image, and I press OK. So as you can see, a little table has been edited with the record. And now if I save and run this in the window, in the browser, you also see a record set nice navigation bar has been added, so I can actually navigate through my record. As you can see, my records are moving towards 4 at a time, and I can go to the last record, I can go to the first record, I can continue navigating between. So it's very simple technique. Now how you design, where you're going to put is up to your choice. So you can do this in any page. For example, you can do that in an edit page as well. So putting a navigation is pretty much simple. You just have to go to insert, data object, record paging, and then navigation bar. So that ends the tutorial how to add a navigation.